The Newsline.
Scapegoating Israel, Sri Lanka's drug allegations. Welcome back to People's TV. In today's video, we draw your attention to a troubling headline that appeared in the Daily Mirror on July 3rd, targeting Israeli tourists visiting Sri Lanka. The report claimed that Israeli nationals have established unauthorized business operations in the eastern province, allegedly being used for drug peddling. The headline read, "Narcotics peddled at Israelis-run business centers in East." Yes, you heard that right. Not only is the accusation vague and inflammatory, but even the grammar of the headline is incorrect. Toward the end of the article, they also mentioned Jewish places of worship being constructed in the eastern province, an odd and clearly intentional insertion to stir suspicion and resentment. Adding to the controversy, Mujibur Rahman, a member of parliament, made several derogatory remarks targeting Israeli tourists during a recent parliamentary session. We've also observed a growing chorus of radical Islamist voices, both locally and internationally, as well as so-called journalists backed by these extremist circles, pushing to amplify this issue beyond proportion. The Daily Mirror article is just the latest piece of this disturbing political and media campaign. Let's take a closer look at these so-called business establishments, reportedly owned by Israeli tourists. The article grouped them under 4 categories: guest houses, taxi services, nightclubs, and drug peddling. While no one denies the possibility that a few individuals on tourist visas may have engaged in drug peddling in partnership with locals, the question remains, why single out Israeli tourists? Israeli visitors make up only a tiny fraction of the overall tourist population in Sri Lanka. So why this targeted attack? The answer is becoming increasingly clear. Radical Islamist, antisemitic, jihadist elements within Sri Lanka are trying to inflame public sentiment against Jews by turning a minor issue into a national scandal. If we strip away the drug peddling allegation, yet to be proven, we are left with guest houses, taxi services, and nightclubs. These are typical businesses associated with tourism. Shouldn't we also look at this from a humanitarian perspective? Jews around the world live under constant threat. In some countries, they are even targeted as individuals. It's understandable that Jewish visitors feel safer using Jewish-owned services, whether it's a taxi, a guest house, or a night out. This is about ensuring safety and cultural comfort, not criminality. Moreover, let's not forget the economic contribution these businesses make. Foreign reserves earned through tourism are crucial to Sri Lanka's economy. Yes, foreigners cannot register businesses while on a tourist visa, so they often enter partnerships with locals. This is common practice globally, not just among Jews. In fact, many Sri Lankans operate businesses in European countries that I have visited myself under similar arrangements. Some don't even have proper visas. Now let's address the most serious accusation: drug peddling. The Daily Mirror outrageously claimed that law enforcement is powerless to act because these Israelis are allegedly tied to local drug networks. This is an insult to our police and armed forces, institutions that defeated the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, one of the world's most ruthless terrorist groups. Are we to believe they can't dismantle a minor drug operation in a coastal village? Such claims betray a deeper problem: blind hatred for Jews, propagated by radical Islamist factions. And shamefully, parts of our media seem eager to give these groups a platform. We'd also like to remind our viewers that while some of our local journalists enjoy their bottle of Arak, Jews are bound by religious discipline. They won't even drink wine beyond what is prescribed. Let's be honest. Tourists don't come to Sri Lanka to become monks. They come to relax, enjoy themselves, and feel safe. Yes, drugs, legal and illegal, exist within global tourism, but it is the government's responsibility to enforce the law, regardless of a tourist's nationality. What we're witnessing is a targeted attempt by a hate-driven minority to scapegoat the Jewish community for problems that are not unique to them. It's vital to understand that most Sri Lankans hold no ill will toward Israeli visitors. Jewish people don't blow up civilians, they aren't behind suicide bombings, and they certainly aren't spearheading the global narcotics trade. In contrast, drug trafficking and radical Islamist terrorism are inextricably linked. These twin evils fund groups like Hezbollah, the Houthis in Iran, and other terrorist outfits operating in Iraq and Syria. Let me also say this: Jews are a people of law, faith, and deep historical identity. They follow strict codes tied to Judaism. For instance, Their Sabbath, observed on Saturdays, is a sacred day of rest, which is why Jewish places of worship exist, even here in Sri Lanka, to serve the needs of religious travelers. And unlike some radical groups, Jews have never demanded land in other nations. They don't occupy mosques or temples. Their diaspora spans the world, yet they've never claimed foreign territory. What they do is defend their ancient homeland, one they have inhabited for over 4,000 years. That's not propaganda, it's history. If you're new to our channel, we've already debunked myths surrounding the Israel-Palestine conflict in previous videos, based on historical facts, not emotional narratives. In conclusion, we urge you to see this issue for what it truly is, a smear campaign driven by deep-rooted anti-Semitism, not a genuine concern for national security or law enforcement. The majority of Sri Lankans stand for hospitality, truth, and fairness, and we believe that includes welcoming our Jewish friends with dignity. If you found this video informative, please subscribe and share it with your friends and family. Let's be the voice of reason in a time of manipulation.
Subscribe us for more details.